Hello and welcome to your practice. Today's practice is going to be yoga for digestion and elimination. It's going to be an amazing practice to get things moving, get things working properly in the body. We're going to be working on apana vayu, so it's the energy in the body that moves downward and outward, which helps us with digestion and elimination. I'm going to show you a couple of marma points. So marma points are similar to acupressure points in the body. And I'm going to show you two that help with digestion and elimination and help with a good, healthy appetite. But before we get started, I want to give you my reading for today. And it's very short, but it's very sweet. It says, nobody is superior, nobody is inferior, but no one is equal either. People are simply unique, incomparable. You are you and I am I. So I like that. No matter what's going on with us, we don't have to compare, we don't have to compete, we just coincide and live beautifully with each other. So we're going to get started down on our backs. You might want a block or a cushion. We won't need it too much, but you might want to have one handy, and maybe a blanket for your knees if you're not on carpet like I am. So let's get started down on our backs. We're going to start with a side stretch. So stretch the legs out. We're going to stretch the arms up overhead. Good. And now we're going to walk both legs over to the right as far as they'll go. And then walk the arms over to the right as far as they'll go. Now feel free to bend this left elbow so that the left shoulder is nice and relaxed. So if you're reaching way up and this left shoulder comes way up off the ground, then just bend the left elbow and have that left shoulder relaxed. But the legs walk to the right as far as possible. The arms walk to the right as far as possible. And we're just going to take some nice slow breaths into the belly. So we're working on this right side of the body, kind of compressing the organs on the right side and giving the left side a nice stretch. Then we'll start to walk the legs back to center, walk the arms back to center. We're going to go to the left. So walk both legs over to the left, walk both arms over to the left, and feel free to bend the right elbow so the right shoulder is relaxed. See if you can move those legs a little further left, the arms a little further left. Big breaths, now compressing this whole left side, giving the organs there a nice squeeze and opening up the right side. A couple nice big belly breaths. Good, and then walk the legs back to center, walk the arms back to center. Arms come down by your side. We're gonna bend the knees. Good, hug the knees into the chest. And we'll just roll side to side a couple times. Good. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. Feet come down to the floor. We're going to work on some leg lifts. So leg lifts are really good for digestion, elimination, but really good to tone the abdominals as well. So we're going to keep the left knee bent. We'll stretch the right foot up to the ceiling. We'll have the left hand on the belly. So left hand on the belly is just to check that the belly's not puffing up, tensing up. So we make that right leg strong. We lift all the way up through the right heel. We'll keep the right foot flexed. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, we'll slowly lower the right leg down to the mat. Let that right leg tap down, and a slow inhale as we bring the right leg up. Now make sure the belly stays relaxed. Two more. Exhale, we'll lower the right leg down. It's nice and slow with the breath, and we make those breaths slow so we're not breathing fast. Inhale, and we're going to nice and slow bring that right leg back up. One more. Exhale, we'll lower the right leg down. Belly stays soft. Let the leg tap. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Good. We're going to bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the floor. Adjust hips and shoulders so you feel even. Now we'll keep the right knee bent, and we'll stretch the left leg up to the ceiling. Right hand is on the belly, just to make sure it stays nice and relaxed. Push up and extend through the left leg, all the way up through the left heel. Left foot is flexed. Inhale, and with your exhale, nice and slow, we're gonna lower the left leg down. We'll let the left leg tap the floor. A slow inhale, we bring the left leg up. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Exhale, the left leg lowers. Good, and inhale, the left leg lifts. Take 1 more, exhale, left leg lowers, belly soft, nice slow breath. And inhale, left leg lifts. Good, bend the left knee, bring the left foot to the floor. I'm gonna go into a side twist with the knees bent. So hug the knees into the chest. We'll keep them hugged in, arms come out at your side, a little bit away from the body. You can keep the feet flexed. I like that because it keeps giving these calves a nice stretch. It gives the arches a nice stretch. So inhale first, exhale. We're going to drop both knees over to the right. I want the left shoulder to stay down on the ground. Left palm is up. And if you like, the right hand can rest on the outer left thigh, outer left knee. Big breaths into the low belly. Inhale, we feel our belly expand. Exhale, we feel the belly relax. Good, and now nice and slow, inhale the knees to center. Exhale, the knees fall over to the left. We'll turn the right palm up, right shoulder stays down on the ground. And if you like, the left hand can come to the outer right thigh or outer right knee. Big breaths into the low belly. Keep the feet flexed. Keep those arches stretching, the calves stretching. The legs are active. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. Good. Nice and slow. Inhale, the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We'll bring the feet down to the mat. Let just hips and shoulders get even on the mat. With the feet on the floor, we'll just rock the hips a little side to side. Good. Bring the knees to center. We're going to go into bridge pose. So the feet are going to be hip width apart. We'll walk the feet back towards the hips a bit. Arms at your side. Let's have the palms up. I like that to open the front of the body. We're going to lift our hips with breath. So inhale first. Exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. Inhale, lead with the tailbone. Lift up nice and slow. 1 vertebra at a time. You can roll the shoulders under a little bit. Belly stays nice and soft. Bottom slightly firm. Knees parallel. Weight even on the feet. We'll take a few slow breaths here. Keep pressing the backs of the arms into the floor. The tops of the shoulders into the floor. The feet press evenly into the floor. Good. We'll lower with breath. Inhale with your exhale. Roll the shoulders out and lengthen. Lower the spine down. 1 vertebra at a time. Once the hips are all the way down, hug the knees into the chest. We'll roll side to side. Good. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We'll bring feet down to the mat. You're going to roll over onto your side, either side. Come up into hands and knees, table pose. So here, if you need a blanket under the knees, go ahead and get a blanket. We're going to have our wrists under our shoulders, knees under the hips. Fingers spread nice and wide apart. Index fingers parallel to each other. We're going to take 3 cat breaths. Exhale, round the spine up. Tuck the chin, pull your belly button up. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch the back, belly stretches, heart slides forward, shoulders slide back. 2 more. Exhale, round the spine up. Belly button pulls up. Lift between the shoulders. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch the back. Good. 1 more. Exhale, rounding the spine up. Inhale, arching. Good. We're going to lower all the way down onto our belly. We're going to go into half locust pose. So we're going to come down onto our belly, forehead on the mat, or it can be just up a little bit. What we don't want is the neck bent. We don't want the neck pinching in the back. So forehead on the mat or forehead lifted just a little bit so that the back of the neck is long is a good way to go. Arms at your side, and we're going to start with the right leg. So we're going to keep the right leg nice and long, and we're going to lift it up as high as feels good, and then reach it back. So point the toes, And reach those toes back. So it's a lift and a lengthen, and we're gonna breathe here. Good, and then inhale, we're gonna lower the right leg down, take a breath. We're gonna work on the left leg now. So we're gonna lift the left leg up, keep it straight, lift it up as high as feels good, and now lengthen. So point the toes and push those toes away from you. So it's a lift and a lengthen, and breathe. Good, exhale, lower down. Fold your arms, make a pillow for your head. So you can stack the hands on top of each other. Rest your forehead on the hands, and just take a couple breaths here. Maybe wobble the hips a little side to side, or curl the toes under. Push the heels away from you, let the knees lift up off the mat. Good, and then relax the legs. Now, so we just did half locust, we're gonna do full locust. So it's a variation of our locust. There's lots of different variations of yoga poses. So this is a variation of locust. We're going to full locust. So arms at your side, palms are up. So for full locust, we're gonna lift both legs up. So point the toes, keep the legs straight, and we're gonna lift the legs up. Good. So it's a lift and a lengthen, and we're breathing. So all this breathing into the belly, working those internal organs. Good. Exhale, lower the legs down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Lift up into hands and knees. Press back into child's pose. So in child's pose, we'll let the hips and shoulders wobble a little side to side. Good. A couple breaths. Come back up to hands and knees, table. We'll take 3 cat breaths. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll exhale, round up. Inhale, arch. 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. 1 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And then one more time, we're going to lower it all the way down onto our belly. We're going to go into bow pose. We're going to do half bow first. So we can fold the arms, we can stack the hands on top of each other. Good, and then have the right hand free. You can rest your forehead on the left hand. Good, we're gonna bend the right knee and reach back with the right hand. And try to find the toes, ankle, pant leg, whatever you can find. Now, if you can't reach anything, you keep the knee bent and you keep the hand reaching back. So we get a nice stretch on our shoulder, get a nice stretch on our thigh, and we're reaching. Now, if you can find the ankle or toes, go ahead and hold there, and we're gonna breathe into the belly. So you can rest the head down or you can lift the head slightly. We just don't want the pinching of the back of the neck. A couple big breaths here. And no worries if you can't reach, because you'll get there. Good, then we're gonna let go and bring that right leg down. The right arm comes in front. We're gonna bend the left knee, reach back with the left hand. See if you can find ankle, toes, pant leg, or if you can't reach, you just keep the hand reaching back and the left knee bent, and big breaths. So we're letting this left shoulder stretch, we're letting the left thigh stretch, left hip, but the big breaths into the belly, working those organs of digestion, elimination. Good, and then we're gonna lower the left leg, bring the left hand down, and just wobble the hips a little side to side. Bring the hips to center, curl the toes under, push the heels away from you, let the knees lift up. So a big stretch in the backs of the legs and the arches. Good, so now we're gonna try full bow. So we're gonna bring the arms down by our side, bend both knees. We're gonna reach back with both hands. So if you can't reach, you just keep the knees bent and you keep the hands reaching back. The neck is long, okay? If you can reach the toes or the ankles, go ahead and grab onto that. If you have the ankles, flex the feet. Good, so we can stay right here and breathe. If you wanna go a little further, kick the feet away from you and let the thighs lift up and let the chest lift up and breathe into the belly. So all this good work into the belly. Good, exhale, we'll lower down. Lower the legs, fold the hands, stack the hands on top of each other, rest the head on the hands, wobble the hips a little side to side. Good, bring the hips to center, curl the toes under, push the heels away from you, let the knees lift up. Very nice. Lower the feet down, slide the hands under the shoulders, push yourself back into child's pose. Couple breaths into child's pose. So that bow is a back bend. We want to go into a forward bend for a moment. Let the forehead rest, breathe into the low back, breathe into the ribs, breathe into the shoulders. Good work. Good. Come back up into hands and knees table. We're going to take 3 cat breaths. So we're going to exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Good. Come to neutral. We're going to go into a low crescent lunge. So we're going to bring the right foot forward. We want our right knee over our right ankle. We'll scoot that left knee back behind the left hip. And then we're going to bring hands up to knees, and we're going to bring shoulders over hips. So we're not leaning forward. Shoulders over hips. This right knee still over the right heel. So we can stay right here. You can drop the arms down by your side. And if you like, if it's okay for your body, bring the arms up, palm space, relax the shoulders down. Now, one little extra add-on, if you like, is to arch the back. So lift the heart. We got a little arch in the low back, breathing. We're opening the whole front of the body. Good. Exhale, bring the arms down. We're going to lean forward, bring the hands to the floor. Bring the right knee back. We'll do the other side. Left foot comes forward. We want our left knee over our left heel. Pick up that right knee, scoot it as far back as it will go. Bring hands up to the left knee and then scoot back. So shoulders stack over the hips. So we can stay right here. We can have arms down by our side. We can inhale, arms up overhead. If their hands come up, then relax shoulders down. And if you want to add on that last little bit, we'll arch the back. So looking up slightly, lifting the heart, big breath, opening the whole front of the body. Keep breathing. Exhale, lower the arms if you lifted them. Lean forward, bring the hands down by the foot. Bring that left knee back by the right. We'll take 3 cat breaths. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Cat pose is really good for your kidneys too. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. As you're moving the spine like that, the kidneys get a massage. Okay, so we're going to come to seated. We're going to do a side stretch. So we're going to stretch the right leg out, and the left knee is going to be bent. The left heel is going to be on the midline of the body. The right leg stretched out to the side, right toes up towards the ceiling. Right hand on the right leg. We'll bring the left hand over to the left side. We're going to inhale, bring that left arm up. Exhale, relax left shoulder down. Inhale again. As you exhale, we're going to lean to the right. So slide the right hand down the right leg. It doesn't matter how far the hand goes down. What we're kind of looking for is that left arm over left shoulder. We don't want to rotate the chest down towards the floor. We're trying to rotate the chest up towards the sky, towards the ceiling as we lean to the right. Couple big breaths, so compressing all these organs on the right side and peeling open this left side. And the left hand can always be on the left hip if that feels better to your left shoulder. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Exhale, left arm down. We're going to switch sides. So we'll bring the right heel in, the left leg stretches out. So that right heel's in the midline of the body. Left leg stretches out, left toes up towards the ceiling. Left hand on the left leg. We'll have right arm out to the side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, relax right shoulder down. Inhale again. Exhale and lean to the left. Good. So it doesn't matter how far over you get. Just leaning to the left. Make sure the chest isn't rotating down towards the floor. We want to rotate it up towards the ceiling. Keep those left toes up towards the ceiling. Good, nice stretch. Big breaths, compressing the organs on the left and opening that right side of the body. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Good. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to go into a half hero pose. So depending on how this feels for your knees, you can skip it, you can modify. So maybe having a blanket handy or a cushion handy. So we're going to go into a half hero. So we'll start with the left knee bent. Your left foot's by your left hip. Your right leg is stretched out, right toes up towards the ceiling. So sometimes the sits bones get a little off kilter. So you can bring a blanket, if you're way over on this right hip, you can bring a blanket under that right side to prop you up a little bit. So just see that you're pretty even on the sits bones, okay? This left knee kind of pointing straight ahead, and we have a nice long back. So what we don't want is a rounding, is a curving. We can also bring a blanket right behind the sits bones. So sitting nice and tall, taking care of this left knee, coming out of it if you need to. Good, so now we're gonna switch sides. We're gonna lean over to the right, stretch that left leg out. Now lean over to the left. We'll bend that right knee and bring the right foot by the right hip. The left leg stretches out, left toes up towards the ceiling. You can always bring a blanket under one hip if you need to, one side or the other, depending on if you're a little off kilter. Right knee's pointing straight ahead, and we have a nice tall, long spine. So we're not rounding, we're not slumping. We're sitting nice and tall, big breaths. Good. And then we'll lean to the left, bring that right leg out. We'll lean back on the hands, shake out, windshield wiper both feet. Okay, so now we're going to go into full hero. Full hero can be done a few different ways depending on how your knees feel. So we can sit, I'm going to turn this way so you can see, we can sit with a block or a cushion or a pillow. So we've got the knees bent, we're sitting back on the heels here on this block. Okay. We can also bring the feet together and sit actually on the heels. Depending on how the knees feel, you can have a folded blanket or a towel back here, and that gives a little space to the back of the knees. The other option is to separate the feet and then sit down in between the knees. So lots of options for you. Find one that's going to work for you. You can still go back into that half hero if that works better for you. So I talked about those marma points, and one marma point that we're working on here is called sphig, and it's right at the gluteal fold. So when we sit with our heels down, it touches that marma point. And that's really great for our digestion, really great for the colon. The one on the right side, when we're touching that right heel to that marma point, it's working the ascending colon, so the colon on the right side. And the one on the left side works the descending colon, the colon on the left side. So really great for digestion. Sometimes this is also known as rock pose, because it said if you can master this pose, you can digest rocks. So see what works for you. You can separate the knees and sit all the way down. Now, if you're sitting all the way down on the floor, those feet are tucked in. We don't want the heels, the toes going out. The toes are kind of tucked in and the knees pointing straight ahead. So we don't want the knees opening out wide. We want the thighs kind of parallel with each other. And it takes a little while to build up to this. So you can start with that half hero on each side. You can start up on blocks. You can even have 2 blocks. You can have that blanket or towel underneath the legs. So we're going to come out of that. Just lift yourself up and swing the feet out. Good. And then we're going to just stretch the legs out, windshield wiper the feet a bit. So just to get some circulation into the legs, into the knees, take the hands and just kind of rub the left knee, rub the right knee. And we're going to go into a seated twist. Okay. So we're going to sit with the right knee bent. Right foot is by your right hip and the left foot is by your right thigh. Good. The left hand is going to be on the right knee, and the right hand will be behind you. We're going to twist with breath, with the exhale. So inhale, sit tall, looking forward, and then exhale, we're going to turn to the right. Good. A couple big breaths. Neck is long, chin level with the floor. Big breaths into the low belly. Good. So twists are awesome for our digestion, elimination. Good. And then we're going to inhale, come forward. We're going to switch sides. So bring the right foot out, and then we'll bend the left knee. The left heel is going to come back by the left hip. The bottom of the right foot will come by that left thigh. Right hand will come to the left knee. Left hand comes behind you. You're still sitting forward. Sit tall. Inhale. With the exhale, we're going to turn to the left. Good. Nice long neck, nice long spine. Big breaths into the low belly. Good. Just notice where you feel the twist. Big breaths. You can modify, you can adjust anything of the twist. Just make sure you breathe into that low belly. That's where all the magic happens in the twists. Good, nice inhale, come forward. Good. And then I want to teach you about one more marma point. It's called chabuka. And chabuka is at the corner of the lips, where the lips meet. It's at that corner, at that edge of the lips. So we're going to take the middle finger on each side and just lightly hold, just a light touch, right at the corner where those lips meet. Just a few breaths. So sitting comfortable, whatever's comfortable for you. And just a few breaths, breathing into here. See if you feel any energy, any pulsation, any tingling. If you notice anything. So you might not, it's still okay. You're still just that gentle pressure at this marma point. This is working appetite and digestion. It works the stomach energy, and it helps with salivation. So digestion starts in the mouth, right? With the saliva, when we're chewing our food, that's where our digestion starts. And just notice the pressure might need to be a little more, a little less, so you tune into your energy. And then bring the hands down. Good. We're going to come back onto hands and knees for 3 more cat breaths. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, fingers spread nice and wide. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Good. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Last one. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Good. Come to neutral. We're going to go into squat pose. Curl the toes under. Walk the hands back till you're balancing on toes and fingertips. We're going to come up into a standing forward fold. So lift the hips, lower the heels. Keep a nice little bend in the knees. Bring hands to up above the knees. Lift the chest into a halfway lift. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Legs are strong. Belly pulls in and up with a long spine. We're going to hinge up. Engage your glutes a little as you hinge up. Long spine. Good. Come all the way up to standing. Shake it out a little bit. Good. We're going to go into chair pose. So we're going to do a gentle chair pose. So we're going to stand with the feet hip width apart. I'm going to put a little bend in my knees. So my knees do not go past my heels. The weight is not in the ball of the foot or the toes. The weight is in the heels. My toes are light. I can kind of wiggle those toes. The knees are kind of stacked over the toes. My spine is not overly arched or overly tucked. It's kind of a neutral spine. So build that all the way up from the foundation, all the way up. Make sure the toes are light. We're not leaning forward. We're lifting the heart, lifting the chest. We can stay with hands on the hips. Or we can inhale, arms up, palms face. Exhale, relax the shoulders. So keep a nice long spine. Weight in the heels, toes are light. Belly pulls in and up, heart lifts. Shoulders slide down the back so that upper back engages. Couple nice, long, slow belly breaths. And then stand tall. Exhale, lower the arms all the way down. shake it out. I'm gonna go into a pose called powerful pose. It's kind of like a goddess pose, but we won't take the arms like that. The arms will be out to your side. So we're gonna stand in a wide leg stance. Feet are 3 to 3.5 feet apart, toes angle out. We're gonna bend the knees and then adjust the feet. So you want those feet nice and good and grounded with the arches being able to lift a little bit. Weights even on the right foot, left foot. Knees open out, so knees kind of over the ankles. Don't want the knees collapsing in. We're gonna open those knees out. We have a little tuck of the tail. So same thing like we just did in chair pose. We're not overarching or over tucking. We've got this nice healthy curve in the low back. Spine is long, heart lifts. We're gonna inhale, arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the shoulders. So we're reaching fingers out to each side of the room. We keep those knees opening. Keep breathing, belly pulls in and up. We're gonna take a few little pulses. So Apana Vayu, this downward, outward energy. We're working that on all these poses. Good. And then pause. Nice and slow, lower the arms. Nice and slow, straighten the legs. Heel toe the feet in. Good, shake it out a bit. We'll take a few side swings. Separate the feet a little wider than the hips, and we're gonna let that opposite heel lift. So arms floppy, shoulders relaxed. Let these hips relax. So a little twisting action, a little standing twisting action. Good, big breaths. Good, and then we're gonna come into revolved triangle. So it's gonna be, revolved triangle is a lot of stuff going on in revolved triangle. So we're gonna take a very gentle revolved triangle, okay? So we're gonna start with a wide leg stance. We're gonna turn our right toes to the right. We'll shift that left heel back. And then you're either gonna line up your right heel with your left arch, or if your hips are a little bit tight, then step that left foot out to the left a little bit, okay? So the revolve part, we're gonna turn the hips, right? So kind of like the beginning of a warrior one. We're bringing that right hip back and revolving that left hip forward. So we're facing this short edge of the mat, facing the right foot. We're gonna keep our spine nice and long, hands on the hips. Inhale and exhale, hinge forward. So we get a big stretch all the way down the back of the right leg. We keep pulling right hip back, square left hip forward. Left hand is gonna come to the right thigh or the right shin. Right hand comes to the right hip. Now make sure that spine is long. As you pull that right hip back, we're gonna start to turn the ribs, turn the belly over to the right. Good, so get your balance. Breathing, spine is long. See if that left hand wants to slide down the leg a little, or it can stay up high. So we're just trying to revolve, we're turning, we're twisting. So this is excellent for our digestion elimination. Good, big breaths into the low belly. Now that right hand can stay on the right hip, or if you're revolved enough, that right hand might lift up. Good, bring right hand back to the hip if you lift it up. Turn back to that right foot, long spine, and then inhale, long spine, hinge up. We're gonna turn back to the front of the mat. We're gonna do the other side. So left toes turn to the left, right heel shifts back. You can either line up left heel and right arch, or if you want a little bit more room for the hips to move, bring that right foot out to the right a little bit, and we're gonna rotate, right? Revolve triangle. So we're revolving. Left hip pulls back, right hip shifts forward. Good. Nice, long, tall spine and long neck. Hands on the hips. We're gonna inhale, and as you exhale, hinge forward. So the spine's still nice and long. Right hand will come to the left thigh or to the left shin. Left hand is on the left hip. So just get a little stretch here. Don't try to move too fast. Keep bringing left hip back and squaring right hip forward. And then with your next exhale, we're gonna rotate, revolve to the left a little bit more. So we're trying to turn the chest, the belly over to the left. Maybe that right hand can slide down the left leg a little bit. Maybe it stays up on the right thigh. See what feels right. Maybe the left arm lifts up. Couple big breaths. If you lifted the left hand, bring it to the left hip. We're going to turn back and face the left foot, hands to the hips. Long spine, strong legs. We're going to hinge up. Good. Parallel the feet. We'll heel toe the feet together. Good. Shake it out a little bit. So that's a lot in the hips, in the belly, in the core, in the ribs. Good. Shake that out a little bit. So we're going to come down to our mat. Let's stretch the legs out. So lean back on the hands, just windshield wiper the feet a little bit. Just feels right to do that after that revolved triangle. There's a lot going on in that revolved triangle. Okay, we're going to go into a twist. So we're going to turn here. We are going to sit with both feet out in front of you and then take the left heel and bring it under by your right hip. Okay? The left hand's going to come to the right knee, right hand's going to come behind you. Sitting forward, we're always going to twist with our exhale. So press that right hand into the floor and inhale, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, turn to the right. We're going to pull that right thigh into the belly. Take big breaths into the low belly. We want our head right over our tailbone and the weight's even on both sits bones. So notice if you're leaning more to the left, more to the right, and we want to get just even. Big breaths into the low belly. This is great for our digestion, elimination. Good. And then inhale, come forward. We're going to bring that left foot out. We're going to switch sides. So right heel will come under by your left hip. Weight's even on the sits bones. Right hand on the left knee. Left hand comes behind you or beside you, depending on how long the arms are. Press that left hand into the floor. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, turn to the left. Pull the left thigh into the belly. Weight's even on the sits bones. Are you leaning more to the right, more to the left? Be just centered with the head right over the tailbone. Chin level with the floor and big breaths into the low belly. Inhale and come out of that twist. Bring the right foot out. Good. Sit comfortable for a moment. We'll take that Chabuka marma point one more time. So the index finger, the middle finger is going to come to right at the edge where the lips meet. Just a couple breaths. And maybe mentally saying, my digestion is perfect. All is well. My body is working perfectly. Notice if you need less pressure, more pressure. Notice if you feel any pulsation, any sensation in the tips of the fingers or in that place where you're touching. Good, and then bring the hands down. So yes, we digest not only food, but we digest emotions, thoughts, relationships, all kinds of experiences we digest or we don't digest, and we eliminate or we don't eliminate. So when we kindle our digestive fire, our Agni, when we do these poses to stimulate our digestion, it's not just the digestion of food, it's our emotional digestion, it's our mental digestion as well. So one last pose before we take a little final relaxation. It's going to be a child's pose, and here's where you might want a block or a cushion, a pillow. So we're going to take our child's pose. We're going to take it with the knees together. So child's pose can be done with the knees wide, and then when the knees are done or open wide, it gives the body a little bit of more room to lower. It kind of lengthens the spine. When the knees are closer and we fold down over the thighs, it's really compressing these internal organs, all of our digestion. So that's what we're going to do here, but we're going to add a little bit to it. If it doesn't feel good to you, then just do it without. So we're going to make fists, and we're going to take the fists and we're going to put them right here at the crease of the thigh and the belly, okay? And then here I'm going to have a block here for my forehead. So I've got those fists close into the belly, the low belly, right where the thighs meet. I'm going to inhale, sit tall, and I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to fold over. And I'm going to bring my forehead to the block. So you're going to take these big breaths into the fists. So this is really working those internal organs, the digestion, the colon, all of that stuff that's going on there. It's helping to move food and get rid of waste. Big breaths. And if it becomes too much or it's a little too painful, then you'll want to just take the fists out and just fold over the thighs with the knees close together. Couple big breaths. Just breathe through it. If it's a little difficult, just breathe through it. Know that this is working those internal organs. This is helping with digestion and elimination. Couple more big breaths. Nice and slow. Inhale. Come all the way up with a long spine. Good. Shake out the hands, a few, wiggle the fingers, a few wrist circles. Good. We're going to come all the way down onto our back for a final relaxation. So lower all the way down. Let's hug the knees into the chest and we'll roll side to side a couple times. Good job, good work. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. Don't let the back arch. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. And then get comfortable for your final relaxation. Whether you have legs stretched out, knees bent, maybe reclined cobbler's pose, bottoms of the feet together, knees open. See what might feel good for your final relaxation. Roll the shoulders down and under, palms are up. Tuck the chin, create a little length in the back of the neck. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Nothing else to do. Just see how still you can be for a few breaths. Let the body receive all the benefits of the poses that we did today. Let the body start to digest, assimilate, process food, drink, thoughts, experiences, memories, relationships, things we read, things we see, things we take in through the eyes. Everything needs to be digested, assimilated, and eliminated. And the time you spent doing this practice is a good investment in your health. If you're able to stay here a little longer, if you have the time and you'd like to, stay as long as you can. If you're going to come out of final relaxation with me, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Good. Let's take a big stretch. Stretch those arms up overhead. Stretch the whole body. Good. And arms come down by the side. You're going to roll over onto your side, either side. Good, and then use your nice strong arms, come up slowly all the way up to seated. Sit, however, is comfortable for you. Cross-legged, kneeling, feet out in front of you. Whatever you choose for the lower part of the body, for the legs, we still want tailbone moving back slightly, heart lifted slightly, belly pulling it up slightly, shoulders relaxing down. Find the breath, let it come into the low belly. Good. I hope our practice today has got you well on your way to digesting, assimilating, eliminating the waste, anything we don't need, be it food products, beverages, be it mental or emotional things, waste that we don't need anymore. We're going to let go of it. The breath is so powerful. And keep using that breath. Keep breathing. Don't let the breath be shallow. I'm going to bring the palms together, thumbs at the heart. It's my honor to lead you through our practice today. Until next time, namaste.